What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. And this video is going to piss off a lot of Kawhi Leonard fans, but I'm sorry. I mean, this is just how I feel, man. You know, when I did the video earlier today and I was talking about how we got to pump the brakes when we sometimes talk about these players from a historical perspective, we do too much projecting. Like with Shea and saying that, oh, if he wins another championship and wins another scoring title, he's top 10 all time. That's hilarious. I mean, he can't just have 4 all-star seasons and all of a sudden he's a top 10 all-time player. He needs a little bit of, some type of resume more so than he needs some seasons under his belt of excellence. Shea came in as a prospect and he was solid for a couple of years, then played at an all-star level, and then now he's playing at a superstar level. And kudos to him. And while I mentioned Shea, that nicely segues to Kawhi Leonard. Because if you go back to 2019, a lot of us were making comparisons between Kawhi Leonard and Michael Jordan. At least late Bulls, Wizards Jordan. We saw some parallels, right? We was making Kobe comparisons. Do any of us really feel proud of those comparisons now? We didn't forecast what Kawhi would ultimately fail to do. This is the same dude, as you see here, that when he joined the Clippers, he proclaimed that the LA was his city. He said LA was his city, knowing full damn well that LeBron James was with the Los Angeles Lakers at that time. Kawhi Leonard, since he has joined the Clippers, has missed tons of games. Tons. I mean, he's on, I think, number 398 right now. So within a week, he's going to miss 400 games in his career. Very few players have missed that amount of games in their career. We're talking about Bill Walton. We're talking about Joel Embiid, maybe Grant Hill. It's not that many guys who have missed that many games. And the way he's going, as shameless as he is, he's going to push to 500. So the Clippers, not only have they not won a championship in Kawhi Leonard's era, to hell with multiple, they haven't been to an NBA Finals. They only went to one conference finals, and even on that team, Kawhi Leonard didn't technically play. That was Paul George. The Clippers, as far as getting Kawhi, right, they got Paul George. He insisted that they sign Paul George. When they signed Paul George, what happened? The Clippers gave up SGA. What is SGA doing now? A defending NBA champion with Thunder, reigning league MVP, and possibly the best player in the game right now. Thanks, Kawhi. If you're a Clipper fan, you're saying thanks, Kawhi. Thanks for that. Thanks for causing us to lose SGA. Kawhi Leonard has now missed, I think, 9 games in a row with no return in sight. Paul George is long gone. James Harden is trying to do whatever he can right now. He's playing at an all-star level. He's trying to hold the fort and take on the scoring load, but he's not quite the same player he was before, but he's doing the best he can. And, it's just ridiculous because Kawhi Leonard, honestly, I mean, we don't know what's going on with him, man, but quite honestly, he should be able to come back, man, at this point. I just don't buy it at this guy. I don't buy it. I don't. If I see you run up and down the gymnasium stairs, knowing the stress that puts on your feet, I'm seeing you practicing yoga with some high school students, which requires balance. And I don't know how balanced you could be with injured feet and ankles and all of that. Never see this guy wearing a sleeve. Never see this guy wearing an ankle brace. Never see this guy really showing any discernible limp. I don't know, man. Y'all tell me what it looked like to this guy, right? And then, people talk about the 2 championships and they talk about the 2 finals MVPs. Well, Bill Walton has 2 championships. Bill Walton has a finals MVP. Bill Walton has something Kawhi didn't have, a league MVP, right? 6 Man of the Year award. Bill Walton is one of the top, possibly 2 or 3 greatest collegiate basketball players of all time. But people say Bill Walton is overrated. And Bill Walton doesn't even come up when people talk about the all-time top 5 centers or top 10 centers. So why are we ranking Kawhi Leonard so high? He's missed a shitload of games. He's never won MVP. Why are we ranking him so high? How can we legitimately rank him higher than John Havlicek? John Havlicek has a finals MVP. John Havlicek has 8 NBA championships. He never lost in the finals, 26,000 career points. Multiple clutch moments, offense and defense in his storied career. Bridged the gap between Bill Russell and Larry Bird. Played for one of the most storied franchises in NBA history and lived up to the hype. Matter of fact, he lived over the hype because John Havlicek couldn't even fucking score when he first got drafted. John Havlicek was supposed to play in the NFL. John Havlicek was known as a defensive stopper. He didn't have an offensive game. So there's actually a lot of parallels to Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard didn't really have an offensive game. Same thing with John Havlicek. The problem is John Havlicek played in 1,270 games in his 16-year career, whereas Kawhi Leonard, his 14-year career, is barely at 700. That's the difference. And by the way, Bill Walton, if it wasn't for that injury, Bill Walton, if it wasn't for the injuries that pretty much derailed his prime, he would have won back-to-back championships almost certainly. People say, well, how did Bill Walton win an MVP while playing only 58 games? This is why. Bill Walton played in 58 of the first 60 games for the Portland Trailblazers in 77, 78. In that 60th game, he broke his foot. When he broke his foot, Portland was 50-10. After he broke his foot, Portland went 8-14 the rest of the year. 8-14. So they went from 50-10 to 8-14. Bill Walton never played another game again for Portland, and what would have been a Portland dynasty fizzled. Bill Walton, unlike Kawhi Leonard, has had, I believe, 38 separate surgeries related to his spine and his feet. Unlike Kawhi, those surgeries with Bill Walton are documented, and we know exactly what he was getting surgery for. Kawhi's injuries, like most these frauds today, they're so nondescript and, vague. At the end of the day, we just don't know exactly what's true and what's not, what's being overrated or exaggerated. All I know is that the Kawhi Leonard era in Los Angeles has been a complete, total failure. And that should be a huge stain on this guy's legacy. Ain't no way, to me, anybody should rank this guy top 30. I really don't see it. But hey, that's just me. How can you rank him higher than Sam Jones? Now, some people are like, well, Kawhi is a greater player. So what? If we're talking about championships, Sam Jones has 10. If we're talking about skill, Sam Jones was one of the top 3 shooting guards in the 1960s. We could call it Jim Crow era or whatever you want to. Whatever excuse people want to use when they don't understand an era or don't know shit about an era. But he was one of the top 3 guards in that time period. And I'm tired of all these older players being pushed to the side for these young, dumb frauds who are scamming the system, making all this money and find excuses not to play. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it.